All right, good morning, everyone. We've got a couple more minutes before class starts. Welcome to the very first Build, Balance, and Flow class. My name is Nikki. Yay, good morning. So we've got a couple minutes before class starts. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We'll get started in a couple of minutes. We will be doing balance work, and I'll remind everyone at the beginning too, you might need a wall or a chair for a little help with your balance today. And of course, some blocks if you have them. A cushion or a blanket towards the end is always nice as well. And we'll get started in a couple minutes here. I was kind of hoping we had a little more pretty weather. One day it will be beautiful out and not too cold, and I'll be able to take class outside, teach class outside, and it'll be fantastic, just not today. So we'll get started in just a couple minutes, just a minute or so, and thank you guys for tuning in for the very first Build, Balance, and Flow class. And later today, I am going to do a little live presentation about where I'm taking my business, A Balanced Life with Fit Nikki, with everything going on and everything being virtual right now and for the near future. And it's a little uncertain what we're going to be doing and for how long. So I'm changing up my business a little bit as well. And there'll be more virtual classes. There'll be Zoom coaching. And if anyone is interested in privates, able to do those. It's not the same as in person, but able to do those on Zoom online as well. So we'll go ahead and get started. And today in class, we're going to get started on our backs. So that can look like legs long, arms by your side, knees can be bent. It's whatever's comfortable for you. And we're just going to focus in on our breath. You can take a hand to your heart and one to your belly if that feels good. Take a big breath in, and as you inhale, really fill your breath. Fill it down to your bottom of your lungs. Let your belly expand. And as you exhale, start to release and let go. And we're just going to take about 4 rounds of breath here. Really filling the belly, filling the lungs. Big, big inhale. Nice big exhale. Let's take one more big round of breath. Big, big inhale. Exhale to let everything out. Bring your knees towards your belly, but keep your lower back on the ground. Arms come out to your side. Just let your legs float over to the right. Come back up to center. And let them float over to the left. And back through center. We're going to do this a couple more times, starting to get movement in the thoracic spine, that mid-back, and also massaging your lower back a little bit here. So we're going to be doing some twists in class today. I like to start out and really build up the flexibility in your mid-back. before we take it too deep in our twists. Let's go one more time. Go ahead and take your feet flat to the mat, and then straighten your legs out, arms come overhead. Wrap your fingers around your left wrist, and then scoot your body over to the right side. Make a little banana shape with your body. So when you're on your back, you're looking like this. Taking nice side stretches. So think of stretching out from, as I move my blocks, from the outer edge of your left foot up through your calf, your knee, the outside of your thigh, your IT band, up through your hip, lengthening out through the side of your abdomen, rib cage, armpit, all the way up to the edge of your pinky. Come back through center and switch sides. Stretching out the right side of the body this time, lengthening everything out. Just getting some space in the side of the body. Come on back through center. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Rock and roll on your spine from your shoulders to your tailbone a few times. Finding your way up to seated, however you need to get there. Rolling all the way through. Coming into tabletop or swinging your legs around, however you need to get there. Bring your wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Press into the tops of your feet and lengthen through your spine. As you inhale, let your belly drop, head and hips rise. Exhale to press into the earth, arch your back up to the sky. Just can continue with cat-cow for a few breaths here. Taking any extra moves if you like to sit your hips back. If you like to sway your hips side to side, whatever feels good. Take a few more breaths here. So cat-cow is one of my favorite flows, flowing from one pose to another. Especially now, everyone seems to have a lot of back problems, little lower back issues. Our bodies are in different positions, different places, either working from home, maybe sitting at home a little bit more if you're not used to that, maybe watching a little more TV or Netflix. So cat-cow is an excellent stretch to do anytime. To me, it always feels wonderful in my back. And let's take a nice long spine here. Take a big breath in. Imagine lengthening through the tailbone, the crown of the head. Exhale to root down into your hands and your feet. Shift your weight into your left hand and your right leg. Reach your right arm and your left leg out. And then come on back to tabletop. Switch sides, left arm, right leg. So we're just going to continue with these bird dogs for a few breaths, really lengthening everything out, and then rooting down as you come back in. Let's do one more here. Really reach it out, and come on back in. We're going to come into our down dog. So if you need to walk your hands forward, go ahead. Tuck your toes, hips come up and back, but feel free to leave a nice little bend to your knees. I always do. It feels good on the low back and hamstrings. You can pedal it out, move your hips side to side, whatever feels good here. Maybe bring it to plank and back a few times. Let's take about one more breath in our down dog. On your next inhale, bring some stillness to your dog. Let your neck and your jaw relax. And then as you exhale, step your feet forward about hip distance, maybe a little wider. Let your chest come towards your thighs, maybe bend your knees a little. Head hangs heavy, and if you want to grab opposite elbows, maybe sway side to side. Or just hang here for a couple breaths. Your head is super heavy like a bowling ball, pulling down on your spine, lengthening everything out. On your next inhale, start to roll up, stacking your vertebrae one on top of the other. Let your head come up last. Shrug the shoulders back a few times. Open everything up. And then bring your heels under your hips. Take a big breath in. Exhale to bring your hands to your heart. Good. Inhale to reach for the sky. Let your arms come down by your side. We're going to do that a couple more times. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands to heart. And one more time, reach it up. And open out. Take a breath here, rooting down into your feet, pulling in your lower abs to bring your tailbone in line with your spine, lifting your chin. Take a big breath in. Exhale, soften your knees, fold forward. Halfway lift, nice long spine, reach with the crown of your head, and then fold. I'm going to do that 2 more times. Halfway lift, fingers can come to the ground. You can bring them to your blocks, your shins or your thighs, and fold. One more time, nice half lift. And fold. Next, inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale to reach. Exhale to fold. We're going to add a little more. Halfway lift, nice long spine, and fold. Plant your hands, step back to your down dog, and then shift it forward into plank. So that can be toes or knees. Exhale, press back to down dog. Inhale, bring it to your plank. We're going to do that a couple more times. Back to down dog. Forward to plank. One more time, down dog. And bring it to your plank. Good, press back to down dog. And then step or hop your feet forward and roll it up. Reach up to the sky, hands come down to your heart, and reach for the sky. Soften your knees to fold. Halfway lift, nice long spine, reach with the crown of your head, and fold. Step back to your plank, toes or knees. Press back to down dog. Shift your weight into the balls of your feet. Lift your heels as high as you can. And then bend your knees and bring them almost to the ground. And then lengthen out back to down dog. We'll do that a few more times. Up to the balls of your feet. Knees come down. Lift them up. Hips go back. So warming up the feet, also working our core. And we're going to come one more time, bring it up. Knees towards the ground. Lengthen the legs. Heels come down. As you exhale, step or hop your feet forward and roll it up. Reach for the sky. Hands to heart. This time let's take your hips back to chair pose. So bring your hands down to your heart, shift your weight to your heels. Hips sit back. So we're going to pause here for a few breaths. I know everyone loves chair pose so much. It's very easy, especially if you bring your arms up here for this tailbone to tilt up. So you want to think of pulling in these lower abs to create a nice line from tailbone to the crown of your head. Maybe bring your arms down a bit or hands to heart. So you don't have to come very low. It's whatever feels comfortable for you. The quads may be burning. And just a little FYI, we'll be doing more chair work later. I know you guys are really excited about that. I think I'm about the only person I know who really loves chair pose. If you're one of those, let me know. So let's take one more breath wherever you're at. Imagining lengthening the spine a little bit more. Maybe take it a tiny bit deeper as you exhale. Inhale, lengthen up, reach for the sky. Exhale to fold forward. Halfway lift, nice long spine. And fold. Step back to your plank and press back to down dog. One time, lift up to the balls of your feet and bend your knees. Lengthen the legs, back to down dog. Right leg lifts to the sky. We're going to pause here. So a lot of times your hip opens up, your toes go to the side. Think of dialing your toes down, hip bones down towards the ground. As you exhale, bring your knee to your nose, curl in your back. Step your foot forward, lower the left knee. Rise up into a lunge. So just take a moment to find this shape here. Your knee is in line with your toes. Maybe pull in that tailbone a little bit here. Shoulders shrug back, chest is nice and proud, and fingers reach to the sky. Maybe turn your pinkies towards each other. Corners of the mouth turn up, nice big smile. Inhale to really lengthen through the fingers and the crown of the head. Exhale, hinge forward, plant your left hand, right fingers come to the sky. Maybe tuck your left toe, float your left knee. If you want to open up your shoulder a little bit more, take that right hand to your hip or around your lower back to your left hip crease. Let's take one more breath wherever you're at. Lower your knee if it's lifted, reach your fingers back up to the sky, and rise back up into your lunge. Fold forward, plant your hands, step back to your plank, toes or knees. Press back to your down dog. Lift your heels. Bend your knees, bring them down to float towards the ground. Lengthen it out, heels come down. Left leg lifts to the sky. Same thing, dial those toes and hip bones down. Knee comes into your nose. Step your foot forward, lower the right knee. Find your lunge on this side. Just take a moment here, maybe pull back a little on the left hip. Knee is in line with your toes, shoulders relax. Pinkies say hi. Lengthen up through the spine. Fold forward, plant the right hand. Left arm is your choice, it can reach up. You can wrap it around your back, you can float that right knee. So whatever is feeling good for you today, you're going to take one more breath wherever you're at. Imagine lengthening through the crown of the head, pressing into the sole of the left foot, fingers to the sky, knee floats down, rise back up into your lunge. Fold forward, plant your hands, step back to your plank. Press back to down dog. Rise to the balls of your feet, knees come towards the ground. Lengthen up, feet come back down, right leg lifts again. Knee to nose, bring it through. Lower that back knee. We're going to flow through some twists here. So as you exhale, fold forward, plant the left hand, right fingers reach to the sky. Inhale, sweep that finger down and back and rise back up. You can do that a few times. Feel free to float your back knee for a little more challenge. Couple more times here. Bring it down, sweep the fingers up. Sweep them down and rise up. And let's go one more time. Bring it down, fingers sweep up. Sweep them down and rise up. Good. You can keep your knee lifted or you can let it float down to the ground. You're going to bring your hands to your heart and you're going to hinge forward and we're going to take a twist, a little prayer twist to the right. So you can take your elbow inside of your thigh or it can come to the outside if that's comfortable, depending on where your back is today. I always like it to the inside, so when you're in this prayer twist, if you feel your hands coming up towards your right shoulder, lessen your twist so you can bring your hands back to your heart and center everything. If your knee is falling into the side, lessen your twist so that your knee and your hip and your ankles stay in line with each other. On your next exhale, plant your hands to frame your foot. Step back to your plank. Coming into that flow, back to down dog. Come to the balls of your feet. Knees float towards the ground. Lengthen the legs. Feet come down. And left leg lifts. Knee to nose, step that foot forward. Rise into your lunge. Same thing on this side. Nice little twist flow. Sweep the fingers down and back. And rise up. And again, you can float that back knee if you'd like a little more challenge. Or not. Your choice. Couple more times here. We're going to go one more time. Take that twist. And bring it up. You can stay here or lower that back knee. Hands come to hips or to heart. Spine is long. Bring it forward. Come into that twist. Again, inside or outside of the thigh. Take a couple breaths here. So if the hands are coming up towards your shoulder, lessen that twist. Bring them to your heart so everything is centered. Knee stays in line with your toes and your ankle. And you're going to take about one more breath wherever you're at. And then fold forward on your exhale, plant your hands. Step back to your plank. Press back to down dog. Rise to the balls of your feet, knees float down. Lengthen them out, heels down. Next exhale, step or hop your feet forward. And roll up. Fingers reach to the sky, hands come to heart. Sit your hips back to that chair pose. You thought I forgot about chair, but I did not. So we're going to pause here. Nice long spine, pulling those lower abs. Shoulder blades slide down your back. Reach your arms in front of you. Maybe turn your pinkies towards each other here. And we're just going to sweep the hands back. So as you exhale, sweep that right arm back. Maybe your gaze follows. Come back to center. Left side. And back to center. It doesn't have to be a big twist. You can keep it right here. It's wherever it feels good for you. You want to keep your hips nice and square so that twist comes from your waist. Let's do a couple more. I know those legs are feeling amazing. We're going to take one more here. Good. Take a pause right here. Nice long inhale. Exhale, fold it forward. Halfway lift to that long spine. And fold. Plant your hands, step back to your plank. Toes or knees press back to down dog. Heels float up. Knees float down. Lengthen the legs, come back to down dog. Right leg lifts. Knee to nose. This time, step that foot forward. Keep your left knee lifted. Rise up into a lunge here. So take a breath here. Knee in line with toes. Maybe pull back the hips. Shoulders shrug back. Pull that tailbone under. Fingers are nice and high. Lengthen up through the spine. Sweep the fingers down and back. Spine is long. Root down into the right foot to rise up. We're going to take two more like that. Nice big sweep. Root down to rise up. And one more time. And rise up. Good. Turn in your back heel. Open up into your warrior two. So make sure you can see your big toe. If not, you might need to open up your knee and your hip. I always have to pull back on my back hip. Root down into the outer edge of that left foot. All 10 fingers are equally strong. Shoulder blades shrug back. Gaze comes over your right fingers. Inhale to reach up to the sky. Lengthen the right leg. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Bend the right knee. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to open up, warrior two. We're going to switch that up. Reach for the sky. Hands come to heart. Inhale to reach it up. Exhale, turn your right toes to face front. Coming into a wide-legged forward fold so arms can come out or hands to your hips. You can have heels and toes even, or toes can come in a little bit. Lengthen up through the spine and fold it forward. Take a breath or two here to kind of bend and lengthen the legs. See what feels good. And then from here, your hands can be on a block or the ground. It's whatever's comfortable. You're going to root down into the left hand. It's going to come right under your shoulder. Right hand comes to your hip or to the sky. If you want to open up your shoulder, wrap that arm around your back. We're going to take about 1 round of breath. Guys, my hair's getting to that point. I'm going to have to start pulling it back again. And let that hand float down. Let's switch sides. Right hand, wrist comes under the shoulder. Left hand reaches up. Maybe open up the shoulder. So it's a good thing I had planned on growing out my hair. I was thinking the other day, and I don't have a little pixie cut that starts to look like a mullet at this point. Reach it up to the sky and bring it down. We're going to move with our breath here. Right fingers reach up, and then they float down. Inhale, left fingers up, and then it floats down. And we're going to do 1 more each side. Reach it up, and bring it down. And 1 more, reach it up, and bring it down. Bring just your fingertips to your block or the ground. Come to a flat back. Take your hands to your hips. Soften your knees just a little bit to rise up. Turn your left toes to the side. Bend that left knee. Come into warrior two on this side. So we're down to the outer edge of the right foot. Shoulders shrug back. Gaze is over your fingertips. Inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Inhale to reach up. Open it up, warrior two. 1 more time, reach up. Hands come down to your heart. And reach it up. Open up, warrior two. On your exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your left foot. Step back to your plank. Back to down dog. Lift the knee or heels. Let the knees float down. Lengthen back up to down dog. Step or hop your feet forward. Roll it up and reach for the sky. Hands to heart. Bring it back to that beautiful chair. We're just going to pulse here. So inhale, reach up to the sky. Exhale, back to chair. We're going to go 3 more times. Inhale to reach. You don't have to come low here. Bring it back to chair. 2 more like that. Reach it up. And back to chair. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw. 1 more time. This time as you reach up, exhale to fold forward. Halfway lift. Nice long spine. And fold. Step back to your plank. Press back to down dog. Lift the heels. Let the knees float down. Lengthen it out. And left leg lifts to the sky. Bring your knee into your nose. Step that foot forward. Rise up into your lunge on this side. Sweep your fingers down and back. Root down into that left leg to rise up. We have a couple more just like that. Sweep it down and back. Nice long spine here. And rise up. Good. Think each inhale, everything lengthens out. Your fingers, the crown of your head, your tailbone. Each exhale, root down into anything on the ground. ball of your foot in your foot. One more sweep down. One more rise up. Turn in your back heel, open up to that warrior two. And inhale, reach up for the sky. We're gonna add a twist this time. Bend your elbows, twist towards your front leg. It's not gonna be a big twist because you want it to come from the waist. And come back up to center. Couple more like that. Little twist to the front. Back up. One more time. Bring it back up. And turn in your left toe. Right toe faces forward, arms come out. This time turn your heels in, toes out. So you might need to heel toe it in a little bit. You want your ankles about under your wrists. Shrug the shoulders back, lengthen up through the spine, fold forward, let your hands come down. So feel free to grab a block here. We're gonna work the hamstrings just a little bit. So you're gonna walk your hands, maybe your block, over to your right foot, bending your right knee. So this might be where you're at today, great place to be. Or maybe you come down a little more, maybe your right heel pops up, maybe your left toes pop up and your hips sink down. It just depends on your body, what feels nice today. We're gonna take about 2 breaths here. Maybe this feels fantastic, maybe it is very painful. If it's painful, bring it up. So I want you to feel a nice, right at that edge of the stretch, but nothing sharp or painful. On your next inhale, lengthen the right leg, bring yourself through center. Exhale to bring it over to the left. Find that sweet spot over here, and it may look and feel different than the other side. I usually have one side that is super flexible, feels amazing, and then my other side is like, no way. So today they feel pretty good. And let's come on through center and switch sides. You're just gonna move with your breath. So move with your own breath. As you exhale, bring it to the right. And as you inhale, bring it back to center. So I'll be honest, I've been doing a little extra stretching. This is my finals week for school. I'm in school full-time online. And this is finals week, and I had an essay due. So I've been really setting my alarm to stretch every hour, because I know if I don't, I'll spend hours at the computer studying and stuff. So I have had some extra stretching this week. Let's come on through center and bring your hands to your block or the ground. Lift to a flat back. Hands to hips and rise. And you're going to turn your left toes forward, right toes to the side. Come back into that warrior two. Inhale to reach up to the sky, lengthen the right leg. Exhale, take that twist to the right, elbows bent. So remember, it's not a deep twist because it's coming from the waist. And bring it back up to center. A couple more like that. And bring it back to center. And let's go one more time. Bring it back to center. And open up into your warrior two. And on your exhale, cartwheel your hands down to frame your foot. Step back to plank. Press back to down dog. Heels lift, knees float down. Lengthen out, step or hop your feet forward. Roll it up, reach for the sky, hands to heart. Woo, yay! So here's the super fun part. I promised you more chair. You thought we had already done it, but we didn't. We're going to do a little bit more work balancing in chair. So this is where you might need to grab a wall or an actual chair, anything for some support if your balance is feeling not quite on today. We're going to start by rooting down into all 4 corners of both feet. And your heels are going to be either nice and close, big toes touching, or maybe a little bit farther apart. It's whatever feels comfortable for you and your body. So just remember, like, everyone's body is different. So in poses, your body is going to look and feel different than someone you see in class or on Instagram. So you want to focus on yourself, see where you're at today, and see what your body can do for you today. You're going to take your hands to your heart. We're going to start here. Shoulders shrug back. Weight to the heels. Sit those hips back. Now remember, you want to pull those lower abs in right here so you have a long spine from the crown of your head to the tip of your tailbone. From here, we're going to shift all of our weight into the right leg, all four corners of that right foot. And you're just going to lift that left leg. And then we're going to switch. So root down into all four corners of that left foot and float that right leg. We're going to do that a couple times. Take your time with it. Root down. And it's just a small movement. You don't want your body to move too much. And then bring it down all four corners and float that leg. Good. Let's come back into our regular chair. Lengthen it up to give those quads a little break. And sit it back down. Take a breath here. Pull in the abs. Shrug the shoulders back. Shift your weight into that right foot. Float your left leg. This time straighten your leg out. Bend your knee. And then bring it back behind you. Good. Bring that knee back to center. Lengthen it out. Bring that knee in. Straighten it back behind you. We're going to go one more time here. And again, grab that wall or grab a chair if you need it. Lengthen it out. Relax your breath. Make sure it's coming all the way to the bottom of your lungs. And then slowly set that left foot down. All four corners of that left foot, because it's the right leg's turn. Yay! Lengthen that right leg out. Bend your knee. Stretch it back behind you. Bring it back to center. We have that a few more times. If this is really intense today, you can take a little pause and straighten the legs. Let's go one more time. Lengthen it out and bring it in. Stretch it back behind you. Bring it in. Set that foot down. Rise up and bring it down one more time. I know those legs are killing you. We're going to cool it down and stretch it out after this. Root down into all four corners of that right foot. Float your left leg. Flex your foot. So this might be where you're at today, and this is great. Or maybe try and take it a little lower. Shoulders shrug back. That tailbone is still pulled in. And rise up. Try and keep that leg lifted. Bring your foot in. Crane pose. Set that left foot down. Let's try the other side. Root down into your both feet. Sit back into your chair. Shift into the left leg. Right leg comes out. Maybe sink your hips a little deeper. Pause here. Really pull that breath to the bottom of your lungs. Good. Straighten up. Try and keep the right leg lifted. Bend your knee, come into crane. Set that foot down. Take a big breath in and fold it forward. Lift halfway, nice flat back. And fold. Bend your knees, bring your hips down to the mat. Make sure you have a block by your side. Your hips are about midway on your mat. Roll down. Bring your right knee into your chest. Give it a little hug. Left leg can be long or it can bend. Put your foot on the ground. Lift that right foot to the sky so you can grab your thigh if you can keep your shoulders flat on the mat. If not, just lift that leg up. Maybe soften your knee a little bit and bring it in. And if you want, draw some little circles with your ankle to release the ankle, the shin, and the calf. They worked really hard today. And switch. Go ahead, plant your left foot, bend the knee. Take your ankle, right ankle in front of your left thigh, come into figure four. Flex your foot and really focus on opening up your knee and your hip. So you can stay here, or you can bring those legs into your chest, maybe grabbing the back of your thigh or the front of your shin. But again, keeping your shoulders on the mat. Take a couple breaths here. Keep that left foot flexed to keep the leg active. And then let that foot come down. Take your arms out to the side, and as you exhale, let your legs float over to the right. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale to the left. And come on back to center. You're going to go 2 more times each side with your breath, so take your time. Nice deep breaths. One more time each side, and when you get to that left side again, you're going to pause there. So you're just going to hold this twist. Take a couple breaths, maybe look over your right shoulder if that feels nice. And just start to soften your breath, soften your gaze. One more breath here. And inhale, come back to center. And we're going to switch legs, set the right foot down. Left leg comes up, maybe grabbing the back of the thigh or the calf. Draw some little circles. And reverse. And let's take that ankle in front of the right thigh. Flex your foot, keep it nice and flexed. Open up the hip and the knee, and maybe bring your legs towards your chest, flexing the right foot. So you're going to keep the feet flexed to really keep the legs active as they stretch. Opening up that left knee and hip, nice deep breaths. Let's take a couple more breaths here. And guys, thank you so much for joining me for the first Build, Balance, and Flow class, the inaugural class. Let's go ahead and let that foot float down. And we'll take our twists here, arms out. Exhale, legs fall to the left. Inhale up to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. 2 more times each side with your breath. Pausing that last time on the right side. So this is a class that I'm kind of a work in progress, but I've been sort of teaching it for a couple of years. Never really had this name. I always called it like Flex and Flow or Strength and Flow. I decided to switch up the name a little bit and really work on designing a class. Let's pause here on the right side. Designing a class that helps to really build flexibility, strength, mobility, and work on balance, because I think balance is something that we all need, especially as we grow older, is keeping that core strength, getting our mind and our body sharp enough to balance on each side. It helps us in our daily lives so much. Inhale back up to center. And go ahead, set that left foot down. Grab a block, a blanket, a pillow, whatever you have. Lift your hips and place your prop under your low back. Lift your shoulders, shrug them back to open everything up and come on down. And you can stay here, supported bridge. You can take your legs up for waterfall. I like to take my legs long, letting my hips, my knees, and my toes open up. And just pause here for a few breaths. Really get a feel, just kind of notice how your prop feels, gently pressing on your low back. Maybe helping it relax and release a little bit here. Let's take 2 more breaths. If this feels amazing and you want to stay here for your Shavasana, go ahead. If you want to remove your block, bend your knees, plant your feet, lift the hips, slide it out, and find a more comfortable position. Maybe it's legs long. Maybe you bend your knees in butterfly or bound angle. Or maybe you like to come up and have a seat for your final rest. So go ahead and get situated, whatever feels good. And we're just going to take a few breaths. Start to soften your gaze or close your eyes. And a lot of times I know in class we say let everything go, but it's really hard to clear your mind, especially right now with everything going on. So it is okay for things to float into your head, for thoughts and feelings and whatever, but just let them go. You can acknowledge them, but then just let them go, let them float away. Focus in on your breath again. Focus in on your body. Take this last little bit of time for you. Friends, please stay here as long as you need, taking as much time as you need, letting your mind and your body rest and reset. I appreciate you joining me. Please stay healthy, and from my heart to yours, peace, love, and kindness.